riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. Here's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album, the show where we pick a song or album, listen to it for an entire week straight, and then come back here and tell you, the listener, if we hate it, and of course, why. I am one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. With me, as always, co-host extraordinaire, Glaven, to my Glaven, Timothy Richardson. Glaven, how are you doing?
Oh, Garrett, it has been a weird one this week. Well, 2 weeks, actually. As you know, we were going to do a Queens of the Stone Age album. We each went to our respective corners of the room. We listened to the album, and then we got Josh Homme into the studio for the pre-show interview, and that motherfucker creeped everyone out with his behavior and his tooth and his imposing leer, and frankly, his hulking size to such a degree that we just pivoted. We decided to take an extra week. We re-recorded the end of last week's prepisode, 2 weeks ago's prepisode, blocked Joshua on all of our phones, hid an AirTag in his shoe, even though the AirTag instructions specifically forbid that, and just, changed what album we were going to do. So I'm doing better this week than I was last week, but I still fear that Desert Rat's retribution. And
I like him.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. You have the same tooth thing going on.
Wait, what does that mean?
Well, I don't know if you've seen his teeth or your teeth, but there's a metal one, and it's unexplained. Anyway, I don't know that I've ever actually mentioned this to our audience, but, the nurse that checks all our pre-show interviewees in at the front desk and gets a height and weight measurement?
Urine sample.
Yeah, that guy's 6'4". He weighs over 250 pounds. I am genuinely scared of him. I had no idea he was such a hulking menace.
Yeah, he's terrifying and unpredictable as all get out.
Yeah.
All right, Tim. Well, now that we're Homme free, and I think it's probably best that we announce what album have we been listening to for well over a week straight now.
Well, we have been listening to Fun Period's second album, Some Nights, a band whose combined weight comes in at less than one single Homme, so I feel comfortable we will be able to criticize without concern for our safety this week.
I'm going to lunch with him next Wednesday.
Oh, God, Garrett, do you hate Fun Period's album, Some Nights?
Oh, well, Tim, I knew this question was coming. It's in the title of the show. And I wanted to come up with a really special way to answer. And frankly, I failed. I'll be honest. I failed.
Answer as if you were Homme. And by that I mean, I want you to act it out with your hands for some reason.
Listen, if I answer like I'm Homme, I'm going to set the studio on fire, assault 3 of you, allegedly.
His fists are so meaty. How do they play guitar?
So accurately. Anyway, Tim, I failed to come up with the words.
It's like watching a fat man do a backflip. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's not that confounding. Anyway, words fail me to properly articulate how much I hate this album.
Excellent. I knew you would. I knew. From the moment I heard this album all those years ago and listened to it to this very day, I knew this was not for you.
Dude, I've disassociated less during some childhood dramas. This is horrible.
Yeah. Well, your father always told you, stay with it. Stay with it.
I have not hated something so definitively at the start of the show in such a long time. This is so not for me.
Yeah, it was made at you, I think.
This was a direct affront to me. I would love, and I doubt you have any information on this, but sight unseen, I would not be surprised to learn that some or all members of this band renounce this.
No.
In some...
Incorrect.
Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, well, Tim, I'm curious, after an entire week and several days with Fun's Some Nights, do you hate this album?
Well, that is an excellent question, Garrett. Thank you for asking it. I'm not sure. I am very, very close.
How?
Okay, most of my complaints, most of my things are really, they're not really fair to the band or album, at least taken on its own merits.
When's that stopped you?
That's fair. That's fair.
Interesting. Okay, you're you're clashing with the style and content.
I think I sat with it for too long. You know, I'm a very empathetic person, right? I sat with this for too long this week to the point that I began to feel for these boys.
You got that Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, maybe. That might be what I'm doing.
Starting to associate with your captors.
Yeah.
You're not sure if you hate this.
I'm pretty close. I am. I mean, listen, when I was writing my notes for this episode, I did write yes under the do you hate this? Mm-hmm. And then I at some point I was like, I don't know, man. I wrote maybe, probably. Then I erased that and I wrote yes. And then I smashed my computer. And then I couldn't read it because of the cracked screen.
Sure.
Maybe. I think so. We'll get there.
Oh, wow.
Let's talk about it for a while.
Fair enough. I will wait till general thoughts, but boy, howdy.
Oh, I've got some angry general thoughts. I hate most of these boys.
Pretty sure you were about to say, I hate this.
We'll see.
Goddamn.
I'm keeping an open mind this week, Garrett. Maybe I'll like it.
I vehemently despise this. Tim hates it and for some reason is lying about it. Unclear why. That's fine. I'm into it. Cool bit. Before we figure out why, I'm curious, Tim, what's your history with Fun Period Some Nights? Had you heard this before? You had to have heard, like, the hits.
Oh, I heard this entire album twice.
Huh? What?
Well, so I was very into indie rock when this came out, and this was billed as indie rock. So I don't know if I procured a copy from the dark web or whatever we were doing back then. Maybe you got it for me on the Silk Road or the Tor browser or whatever. It's unclear. The point is that I gave this a shot. I listened to this front to back at least twice and did not like it. I thought, like, because this was one of those things that was billed like, this is, you like
Cage the Elephant? Listen to some fun.
Exactly. The title track and We Were Young were everywhere for a couple of years. Everyone was inundated with them. If you've seen a commercial, you have heard both of those songs probably. If you were a huge fan of Glee, as I was, you have heard their music. But yeah, this is one of those bands, like, Jesus, you don't really seek it out in general. They seek you out and force themselves into your ear holes. What about you, Garrett? Other than getting me a copy of this album at that online Vicodin and hand grenade store you frequent, have you ever heard this?
I really don't like that you're characterizing me as getting your illegal copy of Fun's Period Some Nights.
It's on
Just
your
say
computer,
you bought
Garrett.
it. Shut up. It isn't.
The digital footprint is there.
I hate you. Pretty similar history, except for that part where you mysteriously downloaded it and listened to it at home by yourself. I heard the two songs, the title one and We Are Young.
Yeah.
Like many times. I remember Fun being at ACL. I remember hearing that over whatever band I was trying to listen to. So yeah, I've heard those two songs, and I gotta say, I wasn't super on board with the two I was familiar with, and they are by a country mile way better than the rest of the album.
So you saw them live, is what I'm hearing.
Technically, yes. Just twice, though.
Yeah.
All right. That's your history. That's my history. That is to say, we tried to avoid it, but they took advantage of our constantly open ear holes and snuck in when we weren't looking. Before we can talk about the album, Tim, I literally know nothing about this band. Take me on a journey. Help the listener understand who is, what is, why. Yes, why is Fun? And how the hell did Some Nights come to be?
Fun, full stop, is the brainchild of Nate Roos on vocals and samples, Andrew Dost on keys, bass, and a bunch of other instruments, and spoiler alert, Lena Dunham's Jack Antonoff on guitars, keys, drums, and etc. Now, Nathaniel Joseph Roos was born in Iowa. He had a Broadway actor uncle that really inspired him, but his family moved to a farm in Glendale in Arizona in 1986 due to the young Nate getting pneumonia repeatedly. They moved there so that the dry air would cure his tuberculosis, which is a weirdly similar story to Doc Holliday a century earlier.
Wait.
And
also, nobody had tuberculosis in not nobody.
Well, I don't know that it was tuberculosis. It sounds a lot like they're trying to cure tuberculosis.
Legionnaires.
Also, if you've ever seen these three boys, they all look like they were stricken by tuberculosis in their youths, possibly polio. Incidentally, Fun Period has a song on their first album called The Gambler, which actually references this move, so I assume that they also think it's weird that he has the same backstory as a man whose occupations are listed as a combo dentist, gambler, and gunslinger. Whatever the case, this guy is no cowboy. The move.
I'm your huckleberry.
Yeah. Nate went to Deer Valley High School, go Wildcats, alma mater of another one of my true cowboy brethren, Ty Murray, 9-time world champion at the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association and former husband of Jewel. Is that interesting facts for you?
You want to talk about a tooth thing? You got a tooth thing. Jewel. I used to work with the National Rodeo Association, Tim. Did you know that?
I didn't. I feel like that should have come up during my many discussions of cowboys and...
Oh, that's why I've never told you that. God damn it.
Interesting. Well, I'll pick your brain about that later. So.
God damn it.
We'll talk about that as we're going to sleep tonight. Nate was in some various punk bands and such in high school. He worked at a law firm to support his music that was not selling, eventually forming the band The Format with his buddy Sam in 2002. The Format released a few EPs, signed to Elektra and then Atlantic Records before breaking up after getting dumped from Atlantic just before the release of their second album, Dog Problems, which obviously should have been called Doglums. For reference, so that you can picture him, Nate looks like a more effeminate John Mulaney, or possibly if Chris Pine had been cast in the lead role of Dallas Buyers Club. Are you picturing it?
Yeah, that's not flattering.
No, it's not. Andrew Dost was from Michigan. He grew up playing music. He was the valedictorian of Frankfort High School. Go Wildcats. He got a degree in journalism from Central Michigan University. Go Wildcats. He was in the band Anathello until the band moved to Chicago, and he said, nah, instead working on an, I think unreleased, but maybe released a very little fanfare solo album based on an unreleased musical he wrote about the life and times of Christopher Columbus, noted hero to all.
Never mind.
Checks out. Jack Antonoff. Wait, were you going to mention all the statues that you have taken down around town of Christopher Columbus so that you can put them up in one of our rooms in our apartments? I don't know why.
Listen, I don't know why all those other people were helping me take them down, but they were all too happy to let me take them off their hands.
Interesting.
Although, unrelated note, the floor is starting to sag a bit in the statue room. The suckers are heavy.
Yeah, that is true. Jack Antonoff, the young boy of the band, was born in New Jersey. His dad was some sort of business guy. He was a huge fan of ragtime music, though, and according to Jack on Mark Maron's podcast, is an excellent ragtime finger-picking guitarist. Jack had 2 sisters, the first of which died of brain cancer when he was 13 and she was 18, which fucked him up just as much as you would imagine. And according to him, it's the singular event in his life, an event through which he views his entire life and musical career. His other sister, Rachel, is the future fashion designer and noted creator of the outfit I am currently wearing. And yes, to answer your question, this was designed for a much slimmer woman than I am. I did not say it was designed for me. I said she is a designer of fashionable clothing, which I admire and sometimes wear. Now, Jack's bar mitzvah was, of course, Star Wars themed. He apparently still has a closet full of Star Wars toys and memorabilia, despite not really being into the movies. He also had severe OCD as a child. Actually, all 3 of these guys seem to have that, plus a bunch of anxiety, depression, panic attacks, misophobia, hypochondria, etc.
Fun group.
Yes. To me, and I think if you'll see a picture of this, you're gonna disagree. I think to me, he kind of vaguely looks like Tom Morello if Tom Morello was Jewish, 43% lamer, loved Star Wars instead of the violent overthrow of the government, and also had hair.
Oh, okay. No, I kind of see what you're saying. He looks like somebody who almost got cast as the lead for Revenge of the Nerds remake.
Yeah.
But not quite. He's got really quirky glasses to draw attention away from his unattractive head.
Yes.
He's like if you crumpled up a photo of Andy Samberg and then tried to smooth it back out and pretend like it wasn't all fucked up.
Yeah. He's like if the guy from The Big Bang Theory, you know the guy, the you know who I'm talking about? Not the nerdy, you know who I'm talking about. The guy, the short guy.
You're talking about David from Roseanne.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Picture him making love to Tom Morello. He's the top.
What? Come on.
No,
what?
I'm just saying. And then Jack Antonoff is the
You can just
child.
say the mix or the child of. You don't have to say picture them making love.
You don't have to
also,
picture them make. No, that's not true. You do. Fun tip to the listener. All you have to do is say picture this, and Garrett compulsively has to picture it.
I can't not. Jonathan Galecki. That's his name.
There you go.
Yeah, he does sort of look like a poor man's Galecki.
But having had made love to Tom Morello, and then...
I just will not address that any further.
Okay.
Cut.
Jack learned guitar from a Frank Sinatra impersonator. He went to a private Jewish middle school. He played in some punk bands with his classmates, starting allegedly at 9 years old. He tried out a public high school, but it seems like he got bullied a lot. So Jack and his sister Rachel commuted every day to the Big Apple to attend the professional children's school Go Wildcats. This is a school where you go if you want to be an actor, or if you're already an actor, or just famous. The Culkins went there, Yo-Yo Ma went there, Buddy Rich went there, Giancarlo Esposito, Tara Reid, Carrie Fisher, Ricky Lake, Christopher Walken, and Scarlett Johansson, who made a weird offhanded remark about you in Sag Harbor during the pre-show interview. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's definitely not for on mics. And
she mentioned it to me. Anyway.
She is trying to play us against each other, and I don't really appreciate it.
Fair enough. Jack and Scarlett Johansson did, in fact, date for a few years in the early 2000s. I guess that's before the trip to Sag Harbor. Still unclear what that means.
Don't make it sound nefarious just because I don't want to fucking display all my personal details on a random-ass podcast.
This is not a random-ass podcast, Garrett. This is the podcast.
Did you just call it the podcast?
Someday.
Listen, man, no. You and I call it the podcast. You know other people don't call it the podcast.
I'm saying historians one day will refer to this as the podcast.
Oh, mercy. I doubt that.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Time will tell. Technically, you're not wrong yet.
Yeah. Jack was also in a punk band called Outline that released some mediocre music and booked some shows in Florida and Texas. They used Jack's parents' minivan to tour when he was 15 because he had, again, excessively permissive parents and went to a high school for kids that were mostly in the entertainment industry and could use not being in class as class credit somehow.
Yeah.
He was in the band Steel Train that released 3 studio albums of varying genre and quality and was the first guest on TBS's Conan in 2010, where they apparently performed a single chord with Jim Parsons, also of that show. Fun fact, sans sponsor this week, the band witnessed a horrible car accident while touring, and one of the non-Jack band members got out to help. He said he found his calling in that moment and quit the band to become an EMT. I think he came back as a touring member on some post-fun tours. I'm not sure, but he did in fact become an EMT. Now,
that's wild.
Jack had met Andrew and Nate on tour. After Nate's band broke up, he called the other two to start a new band. And it's possible that this whole thing is just a scam by Nate to get close to and woo Jack Antonoff's sister Rachel Antonoff, Garrett Harvey style. And if so, it was a success as they dated from 2009 to 2013. After dark, probably.
Don't appreciate what you're saying there.
Fun period began within a week of that phone call in New Jersey, the best available state at that time. To them, the best available to them.
There we go.
Jack and Andy did all the music. Nate did most of the singing. They all lived in Jack's parents' house where Jack would live until he was 28. They started recording demos and then toured with Jack's Mannequin in 2008. They released their first album, Aim and Ignite, which apparently has a much more indie rock sound, what this was sold to me as, in 2009. People generally seemed to like it, although some reviewers immediately mentioned the off-putting cute overproduction. They signed to Less Than Jake's Vinnie Fiorello's Fueled by Ramen record label. They started licensing their songs to commercials for things like Expedia, the official travel site for the Why I Hate This Album podcast, the podcast history. That is our official stance, a stance we would hold no matter the circumstances, but which we are legally required to say we have accepted money for. I have accepted money on our behalf. They toured more with Jack's Mannequin.
I would like some of that money.
They opened for Panic at the Disco, and then they released the album of the week, Some Nights, in 2012. Now, I'm not going to say how well this did yet, but it was immediately successful. Their first single, We Are Young, was featured in Glee. It was in commercials for Apple, Chevy. It was in the film This Is 40, Chuck, and some other things Garrett loves, possibly including Monk and Burn Notice, two of Garrett's secret shameful loves. Garrett loves Monk. It might have even been in Numbers. Everything is Numbers. Garrett does love Numbers, and also Monk.
Listen, you've said a lot of slanderous bullshit, so let me set the record straight. I love Numbers.
Jack Antonoff began dealing with increasing depression, anxiety, anxiety and OCD, followed by severe germophobia, which he kind of got after getting pneumonia while recording the album of the week. He spent 5 days in the ICU, had IV antibiotics, and then was kind of prescribed jogging, which he apparently hates. The medical establishment really let these guys down.
How about you go for a run? Are you a doctor?
I think the doctor looked at him and was like, this kid's fine, but he could really, something. I mean, a couple of push-ups every other day. How about that? Because these guys do all look like 3 guys chosen at random from the Brooklyn, rock gym we go to, except for that rock climbing ability, severely weakened by tuberculosis, and for some reason wearing the bottom half of a very expensive petite lady's pantsuit.
Yeah, it's like all these dudes shop at Talbot's. What's going on here?
I don't know what that is. Fun, full stop.
It's a middle-aged ladies store. It's where my mom shops.
Oh, dear. Fun, full stop, did SNL. They collaboed with Queen, which apparently people think they sound like. I disagree.
What?
They did some music for the excellent...
Hey, Gino, write this down. What? Okay, sorry.
They did some music for the excellent Caucasian-American show Girls, and then Jack Antonoff began making sweet, sweaty, sticky, sycophantic, and ultimately quite satisfying love with the one true moral paragon of this show, the one and only Miss Lena Dunham.
Are we taking her back?
No, she's
just...
It's history will remember her as the first.
She was the first. God, you describing those two making love is vomit-inducing.
It's weird because all the heat's coming from her side. He's like an ice cube.
Yeah, I assume he lies motionless and just does whatever she just kind of moves him around like a big skeleton.
Gross. In 2015, Fun Period announced that they had pretty much accomplished all they had set out to do, and there was no reason for further music, and they went on hiatus. Their last show was at a festival in Central Park in 2014. Andy Dost became the singer for the band Metal Bubble Trio. He did the soundtrack for the excellent film The D Train. He also got very involved with NFTs, so hopefully he lost a bunch of money.
I mean, he had to have.
Yeah. Nathaniel did some solo music. He appeared on The Voice as a guest judge or something. He collaborated with various Beached Boys. He collaborated with Marshall Bruce Mathers. He released a solo album, Grand Romantic, in 2015 or 2016 maybe, that apparently sounded a lot like this album. He collaborated with Keith Urban. He collaborated with Young Thug. He had some success with a collabo with Pink, and then he started a podcast called The Clanecast about the Lethal Weapon television show, which then ran out of episodes to talk about, so they talked about the Lethal Weapon movies, and then they talked about the show Houdini and Doyle, and finally the Mission Impossible films. So that's where his career is at. Slightly below ours.
Slightly?
Yeah, slightly, unfortunately. And then there's Jack Garrett. While not physically inside of Lena Dunham, he did a solo project called Bleachers, with which he has now released 5 studio albums and sometimes features that guy that became an EMT. He started doing...
he's Bleachers?
Yes.
Damn it.
Oh, Garrett loves Bleachers and Monk and numbers.
Okay, again, Tim, I will own my shame, but you can't go around just spreading salacious lies like this. So to clear things up again, folks, I love numbers. Krumholtz.
Jack also started doing soundtracks, including 50 Shades Darker and Minions, The Rise of Gru. There was a small mix-up where he got those two films confused and made some really poor decisions on song selection, justifying my phrasing. He also got super involved with production work, including a bunch of Lana Del Rey albums, Florence and the Machine, Kendrick Lamar, Lorde, The 1975, Sabrina Carpenter, The Dixie Chicks, aka The Chicks, and some other people, most notably Taylor Swift, beginning with 1989 and 2014 and continuing through the current day. He has written co-written a bunch of her music, and by my count done production for 11 of her albums. So this guy has a lot of money. Garrett, he could hire Josh Homme to beat the shit out of both of us.
Yeah, he really could.
I know, again, he does way more probably on the music side than the lyrics as far as the writing and such, but my takeaway is that he is as convincing as she is that either of them had the experience of a normal 15-year-old girl, and that is why it was such relatable and beloved music. In 2017, Jack and Lena sadly broke up. She went to rehab for benzodiazepine addiction that was apparently secondary to her OCD. She got married to Louise Febler, and had so many more controversies. I'm sure I'll get into some of them. Jack got married to Margaret Qualley, whomst he went to high school with, and whomst you may know as Ruth Ann Morehouse, aka Pussycat, from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and also some unpleasantness at Dennis Wilson's house a few years back. And Jack has won a bunch of Grammys for his work with Fun, Full Stop, Tay-Tay, St. Vincent, Lana Del Rey, and some other people, and that's about it. They're incredibly successful, and go fuck yourself.
All right, well, peace and chaos be upon you.
And to you.
Good stuff, Tim. My God, this guy has. I knew about the Taylor Swift stuff. I just didn't realize he was Bleachers. That's irritating.
Yeah, because you love Bleachers.
Don't love Bleachers, you butthole. God damn it.
You like Bleachers.
Yes, I like some Bleachers. That is a fair statement.
I don't know that I've ever heard Bleachers.
I get it served to me more than I care to admit.
Well, Garrett, this album and this band, it gets marketed as part of the late aughts, early teens indie rock thing, which we've already mentioned, but this is pure pop music. This is the sort of thing that Zach Braff would include if he was asked to curate a CD specifically for sale at Starbucks. This is...
Yeah.
And what they sing about, they make it seem like this is music for hitting the bars, and this is not. This is for moms with OCD who turn the lights on and off 3 times before going to bed at 9:15. This is an ode to insecurity and not moving past serious psychological issues and currently dating Lena Dunham.
Yeah, that will create a strange album.
Yeah. For me, this kind of reminds me of Imagine Dragons, of AJR, American Authors, Walk the Moon, the Jonas Brothers, and to a lesser degree, because I like this band a lot more, Vampire Weekend.
Yeah.
And none of those are really rock, exactly. But the interesting thing is in interviews, when Mark Maron, for example, asks, who do you want to sound like playing guitar? He will confidently say Jack White. He will also confidently say that while he likes what Santana did at Woodstock, everything else sucks. And listen, most of Santana's not for me, but shut the fuck up, Jack Antonoff.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. I got a little bit of to add to your sounds like, to get everybody kind of in the right neighborhood. Oh, here's an interesting one. These guys, especially because of the time, were touching the anthemic stomp clap hey fad of like your Lumineers, Decemberists. Who are the brothers?
Like Mumford and Sons kind of thing?
Mumford and Sons, that kind of a deal, yeah.
Yeah,
they're like touching that because this does have a lot of the like, yeah, here we go. We're all super excited.
It does, but the difference there is that those bands, like, I don't know if it was that they committed to the bit or something.
Those songs had folk roots.
Yes.
These songs have no folk roots. They're rooted in, I mean, most consistently pop music.
Yeah.
There's a touch of alternative rock in there. Maybe in so much as, and I'm sure we're going to stumble onto more examples that we've got littered throughout our notes, but who's the one that kept appearing to me? Let me see here. Did I write? I of course didn't write it in my general thoughts. It's somewhere buried in the song by song. So we'll get there, but almost hints of Train at times.
I guess. I feel like you compare a lot of stuff to Train. And it's
garbage.
Well, yeah, all right. Yeah,
it's just that like wuss rock.
Yeah, it is. It is wuss rock. It's whiny therapy rock, Garrett. And the weird thing, so there's nothing really wrong with it, though, right? Like, it's well made, it's well produced, It's boring, but it's competent. Everyone is really talented and good at their instruments, but it's empty, it's lame. And judging by the content of this, these are not fun boys. These are suck boys, Garrett.
Yeah, these are suck boys.
I will say this.
Can we call them something else? I don't, now that I've said, I don't like the phrase suck boys.
Well, we'll see. If we can think of something else that comes along naturally. It has to come from. Okay, we'll see. Anyway, Garrett, these suck boys were produced mainly by Jeff Bhaskar. There's a couple other people in here as well, but he produced K-Way, Jay-Z, Alicia Keys, Adam Lambert, Robin Thicke, Drake, Bruno Mars, Kid Cudi, Snoop Dogg, Beyonce, Lana Del Rey, Harry Styles, Tay-Tay, a bunch of others. Take that for what it's worth. But this guy made this album. He had a huge effect on the sound of this album by their own admission. And if you listen to them or watch them play like live shows, it really shows. There are parts in here where Nate's voice is octave quintupled in addition to the other guys adding background vocals. And the sound is really defined a lot by like these abrupt changes in instrumentation and style, as well as like throwing all these little weird things in there, like a single instrument or a melody that like doesn't repeat throughout the song.
Yeah.
And it's very odd, but again, a lot of this is just the production.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And again, some of this album, like, I can't really say anything bad about like what's happening in the moment. Some of this is genuinely like well done. I hesitate to say it's good, but like you can really tell what the singles are. I think this could have been an EP, but like you can tell like this is the obvious hit very easily. And I think whoever told these guys about auto-tuning or vocodering or whatever they're doing here, stab them right in that liver. Fuck that.
It's so obnoxious and weird.
Yeah.
And not in a fun way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about content.
Sure.
This is incredibly one note.
Mm-hmm.
And that note is, I am sad, I miss my lady, or I'm mad at my lady, or I wish I wasn't mad at my lady, and I'm sad that she's gone.
I think a lot of it is, I miss my lady, and by lady, I of course mean my mother.
I had such a hard time connecting to this music, both in style and content, that I may have wove a narrative that vastly differs from reality.
Okay, so you simple planned us this week is what I'm hearing.
A little bit. It's so boring to me.
Yeah.
And maybe it could have just been I was in a shitty mood. I don't know. I don't think I was.
You really wanted to be listening to Queens of the Stone Age all week. I get it.
Well, here is the biggest red flag for me when I'm doing the listening for this show. If I accidentally forget what I'm doing and I try to skip ahead. Like if I mindlessly just go, I just can't fucking listen to this again. And I hit forward. I'm like, no, stupid. That's the point. And then I got to start over because I'm dumb.
Yeah.
But I kept skipping ahead because I was just like, God, this is such garbage.
Yeah. My main problem with this, I think, is actually a little bit hypocritical because, Garrett, I am aware that I am the whitest boy not currently living in Albany.
Fair.
Were you to cast me in a movie after you had some dialogue explaining why I had no discernible face, you would have to have some like dialogue that indicates my character is so white he does not consider like Italians or the Irish or Catholics to be white people.
Right.
You know, just so that the audience is not confused as to why I am so white. But this band is way too white, Garrett. It's like gentrification rock. It is the soundtrack to like a Starbucks getting installed in the Bronx next to an amazing and historic soul food restaurant that has 6 months before it's definitely going to have to close down. It's like the best comparison, and I understand this is hypocritical. I would say that this album makes that first Vampire Weekend album sound like R.L. Burnside. And I say that though, like knowing full well we will eventually do an episode on Vampire Weekend where I will claim their music makes fun look like R.L. Burnside. But the point is, like, this really is for me the musical equivalent of the Showgirls.
Oh yeah, okay.
And
I like this.
I think though, like, because I've listened to these guys in interviews. I have read interviews on the AV Club with these guys. I think that bothers them. I think it would really bother them to know that there's not a single like non-Caucasian person in their audience. Which
I mean, that would be weird as an artist that you're like, wow, I'm really catering to one group. I mean, this is the pumpkin spiced latte of music.
Yes, it is.
I would expect to hear this in the pickup line for any given elementary school across middle America.
Oh yeah, and they're rocking out to it, Garrett.
Oh yeah, I just don't care. I told Susan, sometimes I just gotta dance in the minivan. That's the dance zone.
Yeah, like this is so white that one of them went on to convincingly, partially ghostwrite Taylor Swift songs, and no one really noticed.
Yeah, that's true. It's just hard to connect to.
Yes,
and I think it's because we're not 14 to 45-year-old white women.
Let me read to you a quick quote from Mr. Jack Antonoff. He was asked in an interview with the AV Club, if you were a supervillain, what would your master plan be? Now, obviously, the correct answer to this is either the arm snake thing or the carbonation of fluids at will. Jack said...
God, that shows up in these notes today.
If I was a supervillain, I'd create this universal cosmic rule where every time an old, shitty, white, right-wing white man says something unsavory about a young woman, he would just immediately get the clap. To which they said, that's one of those supervillain plans where, like, you're just saying you're the superhero, right? And he said, I just like the idea of old, shitty white guy who misses the way he thinks America should be, getting the clap immediately. They'd spread it all around to themselves until they all died.
Cool.
You're officially trying too hard, man. Lena Dunham is not coming back. You blew it. This is overcompensation. This is, like, they are the epitome of, like, declaring yourself to be a male feminist on your Tinder profile.
They're allies, Tim.
If you'd like to watch the commercial for Nate Roos declaring himself an ally.
Oh, God, really?
Because, again, like, I'm sure in their respective hearts they are in the right place.
Sure.
But, like, they are the kind of boys that if you ask what they do for a living, they will say, I'm in a band, but first and foremost, my true calling is to be an ally. And
oh, no.
Again, listen, I'm not saying you shouldn't stand up for, the LGBT
equality
folks
and the right thing,
but like,
we're all on board for that, but don't be gross about it.
It's like saying you wish you could have voted for Obama a third time. Saying that to your daughter's black boyfriend before surgically removing his brain and replacing it with Stephen Roots or whatever. Like, come on, like, what is wrong with you? Yeah, well, real spoiler alert, Bradley Whitford did not realize that was satire.
Oh, no, he thought he was doing it.
Yeah.
God, I spent the first fucking 5 minutes he's on screen going, who is that?
Yeah.
Looking all way different.
Yeah. I think they stole the cover from Beck's Modern Guilt. I'm going to throw that out there. I don't know. I think that's about it.
Yeah. I want to make sure I really clearly state how much I disliked this week.
I think you have. Garrett, before we go on to the song by song, let me give you a Lena Dunham fun period fact sponsored by Snobble Brand Beverages and Snob Dog number 206. In 2016, Lena Dunham was sitting next to Odell Beckham Jr. at the Met Gala. You know him, right? Mm-hmm. She was offended because he was so incredibly not into her due to her lady shape, and she said, he was like, that's a marshmallow. That's a child. That's a dog. It wasn't mean. He just seemed confused. The vibe was very much like, do I want to fuck it? Is it wearing Yep, it's wearing a tuxedo. I'm going to go back to my cell phone. It was like we were forced to be together, and he was literally scrolling Instagram rather than having to look at a woman in a bow tie. I was like, this should be called the Metropolitan Museum of Getting Rejected by Athletes. She later apologized, having to admit that none of that happened, except in her head. Every bit of that is nonsense, and she is, in fact, a crazy person. Hipster racist.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah. He didn't, he didn't say, like, hey, you want to go bang? And so she's like, he thinks I'm a marshmallow. Doug.
I mean, I think you're a marshmallow.
Okay, well.
What? I do.
I know.
I really don't like her.
I know. But you're saying donkey. It in a way. It's like she's a potato, and I mean that in the Oasis way.
Yeah, agreed. All right, Tim, that's enough about that. Not great person.
We just bleeped. I don't know if we bleeped or cut, but there was some material removed there.
Little uncensored. Oopsie. Anyway, Tim, let's get down to it. There's 11 tracks, right?
I
11,
did 10.
12. Oh, God, really?
Yeah.
I have 11.
I don't do bonus tracks, Garrett.
I don't. Oh, apparently I didn't really do 11.
Oh, good. Track number 1, Some Nights intro.
Some nights I pray a sun is gonna come to me, but you...
This totally threw me off from the get-go.
It's like an insane clown way to start your album, right? What is this?
I don't know, because they don't really continue it through the rest, but we start with applause like we're in a theater.
It makes the inference that this album is like a concept album where you're at some sort of musical, and then that's abandoned, again, like an ICP album.
Yeah, I mean, we hold on to it through most of the song.
Right, but not anywhere after that, right? So there's some soft piano, some clapping accompanying the singing.
Sure.
Parts of it have sound effects and weird operatic bullshit. There's show tunes parts. So many people think this sounds like Queen.
That's fucking nuts.
I will even say I can understand if you were like, they're going for Queen. Like, fair enough. But like, I mean, it kind of has a My Chemical Romance-ish thing to it. But
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't say queen. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let's get into a little of the content. As I mentioned, I found this to be just utterly, devastatingly boring. So I read into it. We'll do my level best to kind of interpret it a number of ways, but believe it or not, I've got an end-to-end story here.
Oh, God.
That's not the reaction I was hoping for.
Okay, so I'm just going to say this. I think this is just about being poorly adjusted and suffering from anxiety and maybe agoraphobia.
Okay. I think this is about a man turning into a mutant.
All right. I will immediately abandon my logical thing and go on your ride.
There are some nights I hold on to every note I ever wrote. Some nights I say fuck it all and stare at the calendar, waiting for catastrophes, imagining they'd scare me into changing whatever it is I'm changing into.
Oh, God damn it.
And you have every right to be scared. All right, so let's pause right there. This could just be like a nerd, right? As Tim mentioned, he's just emotionally immature and having a hard time adjusting. I prefer to think of it much more as one of millions of people around the world spontaneously discovering their mutant powers as they reach maturity. And this is going to be the story of that gentleman. Could very well be someone we know, somebody like a Magneto, if you will, or a Charles Xavier, or it could be it's his own thing. Not sure. We'll see.
I feel like it's much lamer than that, though.
Oh, God, yes. I have to be clear. This is me stretching because I found this album to be one of the least entertaining things I've ever listened to.
I apologize. I think the superhero they are imagining is much more lame. It's one of those
I can control the length of my fingernails.
Yeah, something like that. But even that, like you could do like some scratches on a guy. That's kind of cool. I'm thinking it's one of those guys that lives in the sewer, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Morlock. Is it a Morlock? No,
I was going to say, yeah, it's Morlock. Okay. Because I was going to say Mogwai, but that's a gremlin before it changes.
Maybe that's what it's about.
Wait, what?
Is it a possible?
No, you just want to talk about fucking gremlins and Mogwais, don't you?
This is sung from the perspective of a Mogwai.
No.
He's holding on.
He's eating after midnight. Yeah. He's taking a bath. Oh, God.
Now these boys can't stay up till midnight. Jesus Christ.
No. Song continues. Because there are some nights I hold you close, pushing you to hold me, or begging you to lock me up, never let me see the world. Some nights I live in horror of people on the radio, tea parties and Twitter. I've never been so bitter. So I think that he doesn't know if he wants her support or if he wants to just be locked away. I'm a monster! Buster Bluth style, but he's becoming obsessed with all the comments on Twitter and he's hearing all the people talking about the rise against the mutant freaks and he's scared of what he's hearing on the radio. Song continues, and you, why you want to stay? Oh my God, have you listened to me lately? Lately, I've been fucking crazy. He's either become incredibly insecure as he's become, more and more of a singer, or he's become like super insecure about his horrible mutant changing. Maybe he's blue or fuzzy, or he's just got like, God, what if he just had like something useless, like really long arm hair?
Or really, it's super long, like all of his hair is super long and very tough, like too tough to cut.
Right, and it keeps growing.
So you're talking about a Cousin It scenario.
But just the arms.
Oh, well, that's different.
I mean, if it's too tough to cut, though, then maybe it might be like bulletproof. You want it to be like
no.
useless.
It's literally just too tough to cut. Like that's the only scenario in which it is in any way tough.
I see. I love the idea of the useless mutants. Mm-hmm. I just have an overly swollen tongue.
I have so many tumors, and I think that maybe your tongue thing is a tumor.
I have so many. And I am many tumors. Oh, yeah. This is the worst Avengers ever.
Yeah, this is a depressing movie.
I can grow a mustache in a little under an hour.
I would love that superpower.
Yeah, of course you would.
You know what I'd do with
superpower? What?
Have a mustache?
Yeah. I've got really long eyes. Long eyes? What does that mean? Ooh, God, put those back.
Yeah.
They're so long. That's right. I've got long eyes.
They call me binoculars. Okay.
Oh, God. Listeners, write in hatePodMail@gmail.com. What other awful X-Men? The awful X-Men. That's what we're casting here.
I can access Twitter without any computer.
Oh, God. But only hurtful hashtags. I have Tourette's. Okay, Gary, get out. That's not...
I mean, kinda.
I mean, sure. It's on par with the arm hair guy, and I can grow a mustache in under an hour. It's not even instant.
You can probably grow a mustache in under an hour. You're
I can
a hairy
grow
guy.
I can grow an appreciable amount of facial stubble in an hour.
I would say whole body stubble.
Sure, if you were shorn me T to B. Let's
I
keep
will.
moving, though. All right. There are some nights I wait for someone to save us, but I never look inward. Try not to look upward. And some nights I pray a sign is going to come to me, but usually I'm just trying to get some sleep. Ends with applause. Obviously, here, Tim, he is beginning to think, what if it was me? This is all delivered like a musical, by the way. It's very obnoxious.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned that.
Yeah, so perhaps this is a gentleman that's looking at the landscape and going, seems like everybody kind of wants to murder us mutants. Perhaps somebody should lead us. Perhaps even I could lead us.
Yeah, but also probably not. I'm kind of a coward and lazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a passing thought. Then I go to bed, eat some Mike and Ike's or whatever. Track number 2, Some Nights.
Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle.
We start off with a cappella harmonies. It kind of reminds me, they're clearly going for like a Kansas Carry On My Wayward Son thing. Is that?
I mean, I get what you're saying. I find this so reprehensible compared to that.
Well, sure. This is mostly about the angst of being young, sort of the same thing as the last song, the angst of turning into a bad mutant, not being sure you're doing the right thing, or maybe wishing you hadn't been a park monster in the past.
A park monster?
Yes. Somebody who does monstrous things in the park. Could be anything.
I don't know why I asked. Okay, so this does begin the very anthemic rock. We're definitely getting some light Mumford and Sons
rock. No.
That's a good point. It's very much the stomp, clap, hey, Mumford & Sons nonsense.
Okay.
Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bag.
Oh, I thought we were going to do the whole thing.
No, it's bad. I think you like this album. Also, we weren't even close to NSYNC.
No.
Jiminy.
If we weren't, though, we record on different mics, and sometimes it's hard to match them up.
It shouldn't be. Anyway.
Harder than singing together, friend.
Yeah. God, the other day we actually did sync up and touched pitches, and I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. We should form a band in 2012.
We did. 20.
Some nights I color to draw. Some nights I wish my lips could build a castle. You know that phrase we all know. Some nights I wish they'd just fall off. But I still wake up. I still see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm not sure what I stand for. Oh.
Should I join those X-Men or should I team up with that sexy Magneto?
Yeah. Now, the ghost line is a little bit weird because I think we're clearly meant to think that it's a metaphor. Like somebody he broke up with or whatever. But the next song definitely implies actual violence. So maybe one of the things he doubts about himself is whether he should have done the bad thing to that lady that was in love with him.
Maybe that was how he discovered his powers, Tim, and they were being intimate when he suddenly learned that he freezes things. Or, I mean, what if talk about a useless X-Men ability. What if he has he's like the stretchy guy, but it's
Okay, well, we've bleeped all of that and also After Dark.
and he has to be aroused for it to happen.
Well, of course
he has to get
does.
more and more aroused. Well, don't say of course it does. I haven't seen the new Fantastic Four yet, but listeners write in, hatePodMail@gmail.com. Do they get into how works?
Okay, we've bleeped all of that. I'm so
Would you
sorry.
stop bleeping all my good stuff? That's the goal.
The bridge, I think they're going
Just
for like a
ignoring my
Cecilia
comments.
by Simon and Garfunkel.
Dude.
Right?
It's wild. It is crazy. This sounds exactly like Cecilia.
And then there is what the internet refers to as guitar soloing. It's
Ooh,
low
disagree.
in the low in the mix. It's in the background. It's kind of throughout the rest of the song. And I just want to say, just like Jack White, not like Santana, like Jack White.
Oh, 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 oh. Hope you like that, because it's, 300-400 times in this song.
I liked when you did it. The next bit sounds like some asshole hyping his friends up for like a pretty epic night on the town, dude. It's gonna be great.
That's way worse than what I was picturing. I was picturing like a rousing game of paintball, but your thing's way
man.
worse.
No, in the words of Garrett, Harvey.
Oh, come
They're
on.
out on the town and they're gonna slay some puss.
I do love saying, slay some puss.
This is it, boys. This is war.
Jesus.
What are we waiting for? Why don't we break the rules already? I was never one to believe the hype. Save that for the black and white. Try twice as hard and I'm half as liked, but here they come again to jack my style. This is, again, like overcompensation, right? Like, you're not out there slaying puss. You're not out there running from the cops. Like, you're, at best, you worked up the courage to go into the bar. And you're in the corner wondering if the bartender is like judging your drink order too harshly, hoping the glass is clean, thinking about how long you have to stay before you can like say goodbye without everyone thinking you're lame.
I'll tell you what, Tim, while we're talking about bar activity, first of all, completely agree. Yes, good read, strong read. That is these boys. They have like a less confident Elijah Wood energy.
Yes.
There it is.
Like
Nailed
they need some sort of like dogman friend to get them into some trouble to bring them out of their shell, is what you're saying.
Yes, at first I was like, dogman friend, take me through that. But now I understand. An imaginary friend, a man in a dog suit.
He used to live right by us in Austin. We never once fucked with him.
Yeah, we like him.
Yeah, but still, it's funny.
Is it? What do you mean, fuck? You know what? Never mind. Don't even elaborate. We're getting way off topic here. What was I gonna say?
Took care of his plants while he was out of town. I have a key to his house still.
He did not ask you to do
We could get in that house.
Don't go into his house. We're going to be there in September. We could.
Oh, we should just go by and say hi. I really like him.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah. Way nicer than he should be.
After what I did to his plants.
Killed
Jesus
them all.
Christ, yeah.
You overwatered them because you were not asked to do it. It was a double water. It was the person watering them and you.
Let me ask you this, Garrett. Were you the other person watering those plants?
I was. Now, where do you think you got the key?
Okay. That's all right. That's all right. I found a martyr in my bed tonight. She stops my bones from wondering just who I am. Oh, who I am. Now, this is where it starts to get sinister, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
It seems like maybe they're pretending to be boring, but like maybe they kind of are escaping normality. Garrett, they're bringing somebody home, Garrett. He makes martyrs out of all of them. The saints that he brings home make him who he is, Garrett. Their sacrifice,
For the cause, his God. What are you thinking here? For music? I hope not for their music.
Okay, it's definitely not for their music, Garrett. This is not interesting enough for that. No, I assume that it's the energy is like all put into, confidence or something. He is doing the bad thing so that he's like, okay, now that I've done that,
right.
I'm pretty sure
in front of thousands of people.
I'm pretty sure I can. When the lady brought the soup over, her thumb like touched the top of the soup, and I didn't say anything. I wanted to say something, but I just couldn't. And now that I've done the bad thing, I have the confidence.
See.
Maybe he's.
I see. I love this. They are martyrs for his self-esteem.
Yes.
I'm really glad you came over. I can't believe I'm here. The show was amazing tonight. Yeah, we're pretty good. So what do you want to do? Well, I was just thinking you're going to make a beautiful martyr. What?
I've got a game. It's called Saints and Martyrs.
Okay. Oh, God. I'm the saint and you're the martyr. Now get on the table. We have to drain you. Jesus Christ. God. Oh, this is some dark stuff, fun. Dark stuff.
Yeah. Some nights I wish this all would end, because I could use some friends for a change. And some nights I'm scared you'll forget me again. Some nights I always win. But I still wake up. I still see a ghost. Oh, Lord, I'm not sure what I stand for. I'm sure he means this as a metaphor. But maybe she broke up with him. Maybe she left him. Maybe, he did the martyr thing.
Yeah. Or he's trying to determine whether or not to use a very innocent mutant to be sacrificed in a very public setting in order to gain the court of public opinion. You'll be perfect, darling. You'll start a war. A martyr for the cause.
I don't like this. I don't like this. Maybe her sacrifice is just distracting him from having to face the fact that he's rapidly approaching the grave without having left any appreciable mark on the world. Destined for basically nobody to remember his name.
That's about to change. Not for us.
Oh.
We're not doing your thing.
Okay. All right.
No double opens. I don't even want to know what that means.
Oh my God. That got double bleeped. I'm going to bleep it, and then I'm going to bleep it again, because we have somebody in our audience who, I don't know how they do this, but they got access to the unbleeper that you have, and that one's...
Yeah, that one was meant just because we do have an editor. That was meant entirely as a joke, just to get your reaction, because I knew you weren't expecting me to say double.
Okay, goddamn it.
Works every time, folks. It's a shame you'll never hear it. Anyway, so this is it. I sold my soul for this. Washed my hands of all that for this. I miss my mom and dad for this. Either he's selling out, potentially, becoming the band known as Fun, and is sickened by the result, or he's questioning whether or not he should have started a revolution and whether or not being a leader is really all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, you never get to see your mom and dad if you're, Fidel Castroing about.
Or Magnetoing.
True. Well, that is it. That is all. 5 minutes in, and I'm bored again. 10 years of this, I'm not sure if anybody understands. This one is not for the folks at home. Sorry to leave, Mom. I had to go. Who the fuck wants to die alone, all dried up in the desert sun? Again, it seems like I never get to see my parents because I chased my dream of Magnetoing or being in the band
Music.
Fame or, whatever. The only solace whatsoever anymore is whenever I get into one of my martyrs. Also, Mom, fuck you for living in Arizona, you bitch.
It's just not convenient.
Yeah. Then there's an odd bridge where he laments a bad relationship his sister had, I guess.
Yeah, I read this so many different ways.
Yeah, so it goes, my heart is breaking for my sister and the con that she called love. And then I look into my nephew's eyes. Man, you wouldn't believe the most amazing things that can come from some terrible nights. And I like to think that this was about a happy relationship his sister had with somebody, maybe her husband. And he identified this guy as a con and took care of it without asking her.
You've lied to her.
Yeah, but he didn't. And now his heart breaks because she's so sad. She thinks he ran out on her, but maybe he'll come back. She's still waiting.
I'm right there with you. My version, of course, has a lot more mutants in it. I think his heart is breaking for his sister for that con that she called love. Either she tried to turn him in for being the leader of the mutant resistance, and he was like, I thought we loved each other. What's up, sis? Or she thought that he loved her and he betrayed her, making her the martyr.
Oh.
Yeah. Betrayal.
Yeah.
And then he looks into his nephew's eyes, and his nephew's like, why did you do that to Aunt Cheryl? And he's like, you wouldn't understand what's necessary to do amazing things, Charles.
All right.
I think we're on the same page. Track number 3, We Are Young, featuring somewhere Janelle Monáe. All right, so here's the one we all know, right?
Absolutely. Starts off with drumming that implies a fight is about to happen before some light piano that implies the exact opposite.
Yeah, and then we sort of open similar to that musical style before we get back into the giant anthemic chorus. He begins, give me a second, I need to get my story straight. My friends are in the bathroom getting higher than the Empire State.
You know that saying we all say here in the Big Apple?
Yeah, it does feel very, hey, what are you guys doing in here? Get out of here, Dewey. You don't want any part of this. We're getting higher than the Empire State. Oh, shucks. I don't want none of that. My lover, she is waiting for me just across the bar. My seat's been taken by some sunglasses asking about a scar. And I know I gave it to you months ago. I know you're trying to forget. But between the drinks and subtle things, the holes in my apologies, you know I'm trying hard to take it back. Lots to get into here.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm gonna
go first.
I'm gonna give you the straight version, and then you're gonna talk about how this guy's got a scar on his face, and the sunglasses is the FBI trying to find him or whatever. Okay, so this is a story about a guy who leaves his lady sitting at a bar, or maybe he's gonna go put some quarters in a jukebox, and he turns around and sees her talking to some douche in sunglasses, while his friends are, of course, in the bathroom getting higher than the Empire State, which again is a saying we all use.
Right.
He doesn't do that, of course, and he's thinking, shit, her face is pretty scarred from something I did a few months ago. She is trying to forget and forgive, mostly by drinking, but, is having some trouble with that because of my bad apologies. And, there's holes in my apologies. I don't know if that means it's not sincere or if, I've been doing it again, but I need to get my story straight before I go back over there so I can explain why her face is scarred. And I do kind of like calling somebody's sunglasses as a dig. It feels like something you would say. But
I was going to say, that is definitely a thing I would say.
Yeah, but you also sometimes wear sunglasses indoors, so.
Sometimes it has to happen.
Yeah. Now, Nate, Jack, and the other one have all claimed in retrospect the scar is metaphorical, it's an emotional scar, but that doesn't make any goddamn sense because how would somebody see and ask about your emotional scar, you fucking liar?
Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice you look like you might have some emotional trauma.
Yes, yeah. Now, this has also been mentioned to the band that, this is clearly about domestic violence. And again, they want to be very clear it is not, but they also acknowledge that they feel for anyone for whom this might be triggering. And I have to say, shut the fuck up, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Just at a certain point, your want and need to be liked by everyone is disgusting.
Yes.
So, Tim, of course, you and I are almost on the exact same page, except that the horrible scarring left by this gentleman is because he has devised a way very similar to the 2000 film X-Men, the first one. I don't know what it's called.
X1.
Anyway, The Last Stand?
Single
That's probably
X.
the third one. X-Men, the movie.
The motion picture.
There it is. Nailed it. That's definitely what it's called. Yes, in 2000 or 2001's X-Men the Motion Picture, they start turning people into mutants. I think this gentleman has started to build his army by recruiting humans. And so the horrible scarring is through the process of being mutated into some sort of freak.
Okay, so he has, how should I say this, Deadpooled his lady's face.
Yeah! I was going to say genetically manipulated her into getting some sort of superpowers, but your thing's much easier.
Yeah, it's like a little, I don't know, like oxygen? Something oxygen related? I didn't really get it.
Nah, I don't think it made any sense.
Okay.
Science. So if by the time the bar closes and you feel like falling down, I'll carry you home.
Now, that could be sinister.
I mean, presumably they're already together.
Yeah.
Right?
One would hope.
And he's just saying, like, get as drunk as you want. You can trust me.
Oh.
I won't do anything weird. So he's saying, get as blackout drunk as you want. I'll carry you home. Tonight we are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun. Seems like more recruiting to the mutant army, but maybe it's unprotected intercourse?
Oh, dear. I mean, I assume this is where your idea that this might be about some sort of flame creature came about. To me, the we can burn brighter than the sun, it feels like an ode to irresponsibility and acting recklessly.
Youthful indiscretion, promiscuity.
Again, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it's them trying too hard because 100% none of these guys have ever burned anything. In an interview, again, to show that these guys are in fact lame and trying way too hard, in an interview, Andrew Dost, the third guy, said that this was originally going to be about fossil fuels. They're burning fossil fuels at an alarming rate, destroying the planet, harming most of all the young. And so it was an ode to, like, fuck it, let's just burn it down because our elders are whatever. And then luckily they abandoned that idea because it's bad.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think any of that made the final draft.
No, it didn't. But I also like the idea that they're saying tonight we are young. So to me, it sounds like, okay, listen, we're all 44, okay? We are back in the very small town we went to college in. We're hanging out with our old college friends. We have all decided we're gonna, one last time, let's just do all the things we used to do when we were in fact young. That's gonna hurt tomorrow. But again, also maybe we call it a night at 8:45 because my wife is angry.
Yeah, no, this makes a ton of sense. Either recruiting a small mutant army that he's slowly transforming from humans, or he's like, hey, hon, if you want to get blacked out, I'll be your designated driver. Make sure you get home all right. Get you some water and some Tylenol when we get in.
Yeah. Which is a nice but also incredibly troubling thing to say to a woman you don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, don't offer to be the designated driver to a strange woman. She will assume you're kidnapping her. And you will
Well,
be.
hello there, ladies. I couldn't help but notice you're all imbibing this evening. Don't worry, I'm stone sober and I have a pretty big back seat. Security! Let's see, where are we here? Know that I'm not all that you got. I guess that I just thought maybe we could find new ways to fall apart, but our friends are back. So let's raise a toast, because I found someone to carry me home. It sort of sounds like you're like, oh, they're coming back. Shh, shh, shh. Like, don't let our friends hear what we're talking about.
I think that he suspects she wants to bang sunglasses.
Okay.
And he's embarrassed about that when his friends come back.
Oh, maybe they're swingers, Tim. They're swingers, and he's like, and so like everyone's just like, hey, you better get back there. Your wife's gonna run away with Mr. Sunglasses, and he's like, ha ha ha. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna get cucked the fuck out later with that dude if everything goes according to plan. And he didn't want anyone to know that, because who the fuck would?
Yeah. I definitely get though why this was popular, because like,
oh sure,
we knew so many people that would just go out and get into like not just drunk, but like into the insane drama. They would break up and get back together 15 minutes later, and at some point they would scream and throw their phone across the bar, like without looking where that heavy object was going, and get so fucked up that they could barely make it home. And this is Austin or Dallas, so they are not like walking home through the Big Apple.
And this was pre-Uber for sure.
Yeah.
God damn, dude. We knew those people. They were terrible. This song is an anthem to that lifestyle, and it is garbage.
Yes.
But, they were also 20, so.
Yeah, we were all garbage. Track number 4, Carry On.
And we talked about how our parents will die. All I need.
The opening to this, weirdly, to me, sounds like a badly drawn boy song called The Shining. If you're familiar, great.
Yeah.
If you're not, whatever.
Yeah, soft piano opening.
The rest of it, though, what a weird song. Let's get into it. We've got so far to go, and we're moving way too slowly. So, diving right in. Well, I woke up to the sound of silence. The cars were cutting like knives in a fist fight. And I gotta pause right here, because sounds like a knife fight.
It does. But this is one of those sayings we all know, Garrett. Knives in a fist fight and how the cars move like that, It's honestly, I think what we're getting here is that these are the guys that aren't even cool enough to know the cool lingo. And so they're...
You mean human vernacular?
Yeah.
The knives were cutting like fist fights. Okay, that's not a thing anyone says. Song continues. And I found you with a bottle of wine, your head in the curtains and your heart like the 4th of July. Tim, what do you got here?
I assume this is just talking about dating an absolute nightmare that you're constantly having to talk down from some sort of borderline psychotic episode.
Right. I thought either hungover from the last song and all that setting the world on fire, like he went to bed and he got up and she's just sitting on the couch still nursing a bottle of wine, big red mouth, pretty fucked up still. Just like, hey, did you sleep in the curtains?
You have to go home.
Who are you?
I love the idea of just some sort of horrible clown mouth from wine.
The cheaper the wine, the redder the mouth.
Just a mixture
for sure.
of wine and lipstick jokering up that face.
Jesus.
I waited for you. Okay.
Hey, who wants eggs? Did you sleep in the curtains?
Mimosas.
No. I made sangria. You put oranges in Franzia.
Which
Sangria.
technically is sangria.
I guess. Anyway, back to the song. Found you with a bottle of wine, your head in the curtains. Oh, what it could be, Tim, sticking with our very watertight mutant storyline that I'm not going to abandon no matter how hard you try. Perhaps it could be regret. Maybe they set the world on fire the previous evening, literally taking their wrath out on the human race, and she is regretting it the next day. Because, horrible massacre of humans.
Quite possibly. It might also be that he brought her home to be one of his martyrs.
Oh,
and
God.
she was just too terrible. Like, he couldn't, he kept trying and she kept being
throwing
awful.
up. Just being generally terrible. You'll make an excellent martyr. I know, right? Have you ever seen Dawson's Creek? No, listen, I have to get you on the tape table, I have to drain you.
Oh, drain me, Daddy.
No, you're ruining this. You're ruining this.
I want to dance. Where's the stereo?
Oh, I'm going to bed. You can let yourself out.
If you're still here, I'll martyr you in the morning.
Maybe.
If you're good.
Oh, goodness. You're not even wearing underpants. I have to Windex the table in the morning.
Okay, probably gonna bleep some of that.
You said she
Windex,
was
I'm
being
guessing.
terrible. Do you remember those fucking she-beasts we used to go to college with? You're just like, good lord, have some fucking self-respect.
I do remember she-beast, Garrett. Now, internet sleuths, I seem to
Shots!
think that we might have crossed paths with these fellows since we have been here in the Big Apple. So I met up with some friends at the edge of the night at a bar off 75, and we talked about how our parents will die and all our neighbors and wives. So first of all,
Mutant uprising.
the internet believes the bar off 75 might be dive 75, and while we go far more frequently to 106 or even dive 96, I have drug you to the one on 75th anyway.
Yeah, let's just go 100 fucking blocks for no reason.
It's not that far. The point is, Garrett, I met up with some, so he's pretending he has friends. He's like, okay, well, I'm a deep guy. What would I talk about if I had friends so that I can claim I have friends? Oh, we talked about how our parents will die and also our neighbors and wives, which again makes me think that maybe he's martyring these people for some sort of eternal life because he is convinced not only will his parents die before him, but he will also wildly outlive his neighbors and his many wives.
Yeah, that is very strange. I assume he's in an ongoing constant. You know what it could be, Tim? It could be like that, what's his name? That Apocalypse there. He seemed to eat some souls or something, right?
I don't know what he did.
It seemed like he was eating souls. We're going to say he did.
Okay.
I mean, it's our rules. We can say whatever we want.
I mean, sure. Okay.
We could make our mutant just a general soul eater, that he's living eternally on his martyrs.
It's just a soul sucker then.
All right. Well, listen, I don't want to retread the same path. How do we class it up? What's different? Maybe he's physically eating the hearts of these people.
Oh God. Like that,
You asked for this. I'm not a serial killer.
General Butt Naked.
Oh God.
Wouldn't he
your
eat
thing's
children's
real.
hearts?
Yes.
I'm just saying.
You are just saying, and I'm just saying don't.
I also watched that Syrian fella take a bite out of a heart like it was an apple once. You remember that? Did you watch that video with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, right then.
You've made me so sad.
There's a quote-unquote guitar solo later in this song. It's
No,
terrible.
there isn't.
It's terrible.
And it's nice to know when I was left for dead, I was found, and now I don't roam these streets. I am not the ghost you are to me. Now, it could just be like, we broke up, you're not haunted by me, I'm haunted by you.
I like to think it's I am the one who knocks things. Like, I make ghosts. Nobody makes a ghost out of me.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I like that.
And
I was
made
thinking
a lot of ghosts.
Oh, God. Okay. Similar vibe. I was just going to say, like, now he's all mutated up. He's, like, taking his revenge out on all the people that used to pick on him.
And I mean, I've seen these boys, Garrett, and I do not condone bullying. These boys were bullied. You can just
Some
tell.
boys need a good bullying.
Well, now you're talking like your father.
Had a lot of good ideas.
Yeah. It ends with a bunch of auto-tuney, echoey, synthy bullshit.
Oh, Jesus.
This is not the worst offender, but here's a really shocking statement. This album is about to take a huge dip in quality.
Yeah, no, that was the good ones.
Yep. Now, before we go on, Garrett, Lena Dunham fun full stop fact. Sponsored by Snapple Brand Beverages and Snop Dog number 119. In 2016, Lena faced backlash and had to apologize after saying on a podcast that she wished that she had an abortion so as to better understand women who have had an abortion. It is not every day you can say you have grossed out the entire internet simultaneously, those monsters, but she did it. Track number 5, it gets better.
What have we done? Oh my God.
Inaccurate statement.
It's okay. So it starts off, it's jarring and terrible. We start off with this terrible drum machine sounding drums that I don't think are a drum machine.
I thought it was drum and bass, auto-tune delivery. I think that we are hearing the number one influence for how we get 100 gecs.
Oh God, maybe. And if so, fuck you fun. I assumed that based on their ally status that this would be the part of the album that it turns into an It Gets Better campaign. Which is what it should be, because this is just
it shouldn't be this.
It should not be this.
This is really in poor taste and odd.
Yes. Okay, what have we done? Oh my god. What have we done? Oh my god. This is really
super pitch shifted and difficult for my ears to hear.
What have we done? Oh my god. What have we done? Oh my god.
You sound like Long Legs.
I don't know what that means.
Gotta put my long legs on.
No idea what that means. This is really happening. You never looked so bored. Can you feel my fingernails? They've never been so short. It's hard to lay a golden egg with everyone around. It's hard to stay inside my head when words keep pouring out. Now, I will admit that laying a golden egg does really sound like a euphemism I would use for sex, but I am as shocked and grossed out by it as you are.
It's so gross.
What is happening? Garrett, if I was just
this golden egg.
Yeah, how did it go last night? You really took those sluts home, you know how guys talk and such.
Right.
It was great. It was great. I laid a golden egg all up in there, or whatever it is that I don't know how sex works.
Oh,
Garrett.
man, I golden egged her face, neck, and chest, bro. It's pretty
gross.
cool. Just eggs everywhere. Scrambled, bro.
What is wrong with
Dude,
that?
I poached her.
Because here's the thing. You could say, we're being really immature. We're saying that he's talking about sex with the phrase laying a golden egg. And that's what he's talking about. Right. That would be weird of us to do that. But that's what this fucking song is about.
Yeah, this song's just so ill-advised that my mutant reading of it is like an actual improvement.
Yes. I mean, because it continues with more bird talk, Garrett.
Well, hold on. Before we move on, this is so fucking batshit bananas. I want to make sure everybody's hearing it. It's hard to lay a golden egg with everyone around. What do you mean? Who's around?
Everyone, Garrett. All my friends watch me and my egg making.
Okay, I'm thinking at best they're at a house party and they've wandered off to a secluded parent's bedroom and they can hear everybody outside.
That is way too good for what's presumably happening. Anyway.
All right, continue.
Like starlight crashing through the room, we'll lose our feathers. Yes, I know it hurts at first, but it gets better. It gets better, it gets better, it gets better. Now, first of all, why so much bird talk?
It'll get better. Yeah, I don't know. He found a metaphor and he's sticking with it.
Can I give you the one genius annotation I'm gonna say for this episode?
Jesus, this is gonna be terrible, folks. Strap in. Go ahead, Tim.
This is for the yes, I know it hurts at first, but it gets better, will get better. Sex can
Hold on, before you say it, over under, folks, on whether or not Tim's about to say the word hymen. I think no. I think no. Go ahead, Tim.
Sex.
Might have lost that bet. Tim's laughing pretty hard. I think he might be about to say hymen.
Okay. Sex can be unenjoyable at first. For one thing, your hymen has just been broken. For another, your vagina isn't used to having a big dick inside of it. But trust me, girl, it gets better. Somebody was just like, I know what this means.
And now you do too.
Yes.
Jesus, who would write this song? Anyway, song continues. So, okay, folks, listen, this is like a terrible metaphor about getting better at, not metaphor. This is just a song about banging. And I don't actually think any animals lose their feathers, Tim. I think they gain their feathers.
When they bang, yes. As far as I know, that's how birds get feathers.
No. I think ducks have a corkscrew penis.
They do, yes.
Well, I'm looking for confirmation.
I can taste your summer sweat. It's never been so warm. So can we kick the covers off? They're always on. It's never been so warm. Now, of course, we have more talk about tasting people, but for those of you writing in and telling us we are wrong, that you love to taste people and you like to talk about it, keep this in mind. These boys are in the Big Apple. The summer sweat that is being tasted was accrued on the goddamn sea train. It is a mix of up to 731 kinds of filth that will in fact give you hepatitis.
Yeah, like they'll give you a new kind of hepatitis.
F
for farts. You literally smell like farts. People don't realize just how gross the subway is.
I think they do.
Yeah, you know what? I think the secret's out.
Yeah.
It's pretty gross.
All right, we gotta keep going because there's nothing else interesting on this album, I don't think. We'll talk.
No, you're right.
But
let's keep going.
Yeah, let's do this quick.
Track 6, Why Am I the One?
Go on, if you were thinking that the worst is yet to come.
let's get right into it, folks. I got enough on my mind that when she pulls me by the hair, she hasn't much to hold on to. She's keeping count on her hand. 1, 2, 3 days I have been sleeping on my side. Tim, what do we got?
He's going bald and he's not into the sex with her.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was going to say these are two people that have been together and they've sort of like grown weary of each other. They're bored of each other. They're getting old and they've heard each other's stories, and she doesn't like it when he sleeps on his side, presumably because he snores a bunch, I guess.
Well, I just thought because he's like leaning away from her, he's not into her, you know?
Oh, okay. I see. Maybe because he was like, he was all talk, or maybe she's like, you know what? Like, maybe we don't need to have that whole like mutant rebellion thing. What if we just settled down in New Hampshire and just had a life together? And he's like, cool, but like someday we'll do the whole mutant rebellion thing. And she's like, oh, sure. And then he just never really got around to it. So he's starting to resent her.
Yeah, as one does.
Yeah.
I know he doesn't say this, but the next part sounds like he's saying, I finished kissing my dad.
Yes, it does. Enough that the first time I listened to it, I was like, I think I was on a bike or something and I stopped and was like, wait, what? Oh, death. Okay. Because it definitely sounds like dad. It takes you right out of it. What does he say, Tim?
I finished kissing my death, so now I head back up the steps, thinking about where I've been. I mean, the sun was never like this. I want to feel with the season. I guess it makes sense, because my life's become as vapid as a night out in Los Angeles, and I just want to stay in bed.
He's depressed.
Yeah, and I mean, a weird dig on LA for no reason, which is somebody that has made living in the Big Apple a core part of my identity, I approve of. But these boys seem vapid, right? They're the kind of people that have pretend depth.
Yeah, I mean, they're really good at embodying the sensibilities of the most selfish and vapid people on the planet. God, I hate this shit.
Yeah, let's move on, man. Garrett, track number 7, All Alone.
And I feel so all alone.
That might be the first veto ever, and just a unilateral veto. I'm done with this. We're moving on.
Well, he seemed done with it too. Garrett, this song seems as if he has replaced an old girlfriend with either somebody he thinks of as a toy, or with some sort of toy. It's
right. We're gonna really parse this one because it's truly bonkers. Opens with an 8-bit harpsichord, sounds a little bit like a jewelry box, which is eventually joined by a nice break beat. This one gave me 21 Pilots vibes.
Yes.
Definitely could think of Blurry Face and his friend Kevin or whatever there are things about. I don't remember. But let's get right into it. I fell in love with a wind-up souvenir. I bought it downtown as I was on my way to meet you. She sounds like the songs you used to sing to me to put me to sleep. But now that you're gone, she's all that I've left to hold.
Here's my best read on this. He has a girlfriend who bought him some sort of toy or something. Or maybe he bought it for her, and when she broke up, I guess he did buy it for her. So he's got a girlfriend, he buys her this antique toy, they break up, it stays with him, and then Garrett starts to haunt him like some sort of Bret Easton Ellis Lunar Park situation.
Yeah, but I think that it seduces him.
Well, yeah.
And he succumbs.
Well, yeah.
Well, that Bret Easton Ellis Lunar Park situation had more of a, like, I don't know, mechanical parrot turning into a demon and haunting him in this hallway.
Well, okay, I think that's exactly what happens, except sexy. Well, it's not sexy.
And he's into it.
Yeah.
Right. Sexual, like chokes his dick or something.
Okay.
What? You said it. So I'm pretty much with you here. Like, there's not a lot of ways to cut this. It's too weird. He fell in love with a wind-up souvenir. So it's a mechanical object that seems to sing songs to him. Which also, who has a girlfriend that sings you to sleep? That's a weird thing, right?
Yeah, so that makes me think it might be his mom again. Like, he thinks he's pretending he had a girlfriend, and the only lady he's ever known that he's ever like had an actual relationship with is his mother. So he just assumes, yeah, girls, like if you're dating somebody, she sings you to sleep at night, just like, your mom does.
Right, like all ladies. Yeah, I just miss she used to do my laundry and like the sex, obviously, and sing me to sleep every night. What's that now? You do what now? Like just like little songs or whatever, either ones you might know or ones she'd make up where I'm kind of the star of it or whatever. And they're basically just normal songs, but like tailored to me to help me sleep, get me off to dreamland.
Yeah.
Yeah, girlfriend stuff. Yikes. No. I mean, that's honestly the best part of this this song, because I think the rest of it's about him having sex with a doll.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Okay, song continues. And I feel so all alone. No one's gonna fix me when I'm broke. How do you cry with inanimate eyes? You're never gonna smile with the way that you're wired. And I feel so all alone. Tim, is it possible that he purchased a real doll trying to spice up the relationship and she was like, yeah, no, not what I meant when I said we needed to talk after work?
Yeah, don't ever do that. Women are not into that.
No, women are not into that. And most men look askance at you, other men. So
you want to watch me with it? No!
God. Oh, I found a fucking freak show the other day that had 8 of them. Okay. And he was revealing to his girlfriend, his like 51-year-old girlfriend, that he had a sex doll addiction. And it's the way he did it. It was Thanksgiving. God damn it. It was Thanksgiving. And so he decorates the whole table like for Thanksgiving, but he does it like it's an elementary school. It's all like the like paper stuff, like in the paper plates. And it's all just ridiculous. And then he takes 3 of the 8 dolls. And
he
just
don't look weird.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best part. And he puts them all on the couch and she walks in. She has no idea what she's about to walk into. She just knows he's about to reveal something that he's been hiding. And she comes in and she's like, oh, well, holy fucking shit. And then
I'm sorry,
the best
are these...
part...
Wait, you didn't turn actual women into these dolls, right? I need to know that.
These aren't like
dried
paper mache.
Women?
Yeah, these aren't mummified corpses, right? These aren't martyrs, are they? You're not a saint, are you? You'll make an excellent martyr. No, the best part, though, is that I never in a million years would have thought to ask, well, is that all of them? And it's
No,
her first
not.
Question.
Oh, well, so she knows him.
First. Yeah. So maybe they're meant to be together. Her first question was, well, is that all of them? And he goes, oh, no. And she goes, really? How many are there? 8. I've got 8. And here's the only time he lies in the entire video. And it's fascinating to me. She says, over how long a time did you accumulate them? And he goes, oh, I don't know. Bullshit. He knows the exact day and date. That's their birthdays.
Oh, God.
You know he's celebrating those days. So he's a fucking liar. But I found it very fascinating. The taking 3 out of the 8 so he didn't seem crazy. And then being like, oh, I don't know when I got them. I mean, you don't know what day you got to roll a duct tape, right? Bullshit, motherfucker. You come in these.
Okay, we're going to bleep part of that.
Stop bleeping me! Luckily, you're pretty lazy, so I think most of these bleeps are going to hold. Not the double 11 talk. That one's getting bleeped. I'm really hoping one sneaks through and completely out of context that people are just like, what?
Yeah, probably. Because, again, as you say, I'm lazy. Yeah.
Let's keep going. I gave her to you. I don't need a toy, we hear a woman say. I thought you might appreciate. I don't like the way that it moves. The way that she dances. That painted look upon her face. Someone must have thrown this away. Charles, did you get this out of the garbage?
I like the idea. So the straightforward read here is that this is a tale of a guy who buys an antique wind-up toy to try and give it to his ex to get her to come back to him. And she immediately is like, well, that's haunted. I'm not doing whatever this is.
This is a haunted doll, sir, that I'm pretty sure you came inside.
At best, this has cameras inside of it. I am not bringing it into my house. I'm pretty sure that it will strangle me.
Yeah, at best, cameras. At worst, the souls of burned children.
Yeah.
I don't need no Freddy Krueger doll in my house. As she sits on my shelf, it makes me think of you. The way she carries the things that remind me of who we used to be before we became antiques. He's dressing this doll up like this ex. She's a lot like you, but when I hold her too tight, I know she'll break. She just takes some glue to stay.
Ugh.
So yeah,
he's making love to this doll. I don't know what this song is actually about, but the one thing we can say for sure is he's having sex with this toy.
Yeah, he's having sex with this doll that he thought was going to get his ex back, but instead just creeped her the fuck out. And his solution was to put it in her Lululemon workout gear and fuck it.
But what?
Good God.
But what if, like, let's say that you are.
What is this gonna be?
Let's say that you are cursed to live inside of a doll, and maybe you can only strangle a guy at night or whatever, right? The rest of the time you're basically just trapped in this thing, and this guy brings you home, and you're just like, oh, hell yeah. When this guy goes to sleep tonight, I am gonna strangle the shit out of him. And then he starts putting his girlfriend's clothes on you, and you're like, well, this is a little weird. It's
unusual.
I arrived in clothing. And then he starts taking those clothes off, and then you realize, listen, I'm
a haunted doll.
Yeah.
I'm not a pleasure doll.
yeah. But, you're going to be trapped in that thing while he does what he does.
What's that haunted doll? Adelaide or whatever?
Annabelle.
Yeah. God, you really knew that. You're super into those two, aren't you?
Yeah, super into it. I don't know if that's, to be clear, I have not seen them. I don't want to.
The Warrens. Yeah.
You're super into it. Garrett, track number 8, All Right.
That's all right. I guess it's all right.
Back to the live crowd.
Yeah. And this is just a song about somebody that has decided to commit suicide and has come to terms with that. It's all right.
Wow.
That's what it's about. That's clearly what it's about, Garrett. I don't need to even read lyrics. I don't know why you're staring at me like this. I feel like you had some sort of fun X-Men related imagery to throw in here.
Yeah, a lot of my X-Men stuff's really gone to the wayside this week due to your cripplingly dark interpretations of these songs.
Well, in my defense, I've seen these boys. I know what they're doing. And let's
get into it. God. Yeah, it's all right. I guess it's all right. I got nothing left inside of my chest, but it's all right.
Yep, what I said.
That's not great. I was going to say it was the last of his humanity. He truly has become a mutant, but
could have been, but
yours
it's not.
Is, right. Well, I got the call soon as the day hit night, as soon as the headlights lit up the west side. I stopped the car and came outside because I know that tone. I remember the first time. We wished upon parallel lines, waiting for a friend to call and say they're still alive. You're probably going to say suicide.
Maybe. I don't know.
I was going to say a manhunt was underway for a rogue mutant and his accomplices after they committed an act of terror against the, anti-mutant building.
Yeah, maybe. It does seem like they're rushing to make sure, one of their friends beat them to wherever they're going, and they're going to let us know.
Oh, interesting. I think the honest interpretation is they think one of their friends might be dead, and they're waiting on a phone call to find out.
Right, and it's all right. Ooh. They understand exactly why somebody would do what they did.
I see.
Yeah.
I've given everyone I know a good reason to go. I was surprised you stuck around long enough to figure out. God.
Yeah, and now all my loves that come back to haunt me, my regrets, and texts sent to taunt me. I never claimed to be more than a one-night stand.
Jesus.
Yeah. All right, track number 9, 1 Foot.
I put one foot in front of the other one.
I really have a hard time listening to this song.
Yeah, it's very musical theatery, and I guess it's just their thoughts on religion. They don't like the church's stance on homosexuality. Which again, to be clear, we don't either.
He's definitely trying to incite an incident. Mm-hmm. It sounds like they hired a high school band to constantly do a bum 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 bum. And if you find that irritating, imagine a whole 3 minutes and 31 seconds of it. But that relentless horn and drum loop happens the entire time. There's sort of a weird borderline Eminem vocal effect on the lyrics.
Yeah, I guess that's why he got to work with Bruce after this.
Oh, okay. So he opens it with, I'm standing in Brooklyn just waiting for something to happen. I can't help but love thinking that everyone doesn't get it. To my left, there's a window. Where did I go? My reflection just blends into rows of clothes and bad ideas, but ideas nonetheless. And so, sounds to me like this gentleman's trying to start a confrontation in a big city in order to draw attention to himself. Now, why exactly? I don't know. Maybe he's just emotionally vacant and he's looking for any sort of human contact. Or perhaps he is trying to incite a civil war between humans and mutants.
Yeah, I think it's just about depression, Garrett. I'll put one foot in front of the other, walking toward a better place to die.
Oof.
Yeah. And I happened to stumble upon a chapel last night, and I can't help but back up when I think of what happens inside. I've got friends locked in boxes. That's no way to live. But what you're calling a sin isn't up to them. After all, I thought we were all your children. Not a fan of the church, that's fair.
Yep. And as we all know, mutants are of course, hated by the Christians because it proves the absence of a real God.
Well, it proves evolution.
Also, yeah.
But I will die for my own sins, thanks a lot. We will raise up ourselves, thanks for nothing at all. So up off the ground, our forefathers are nothing but dust now. He wants to be the X-Men Jesus. I get it. I'm back with you.
Yeah, mutants will destroy humanity and we will bathe in the blood of your children.
Yes. Maybe I should learn to shut my mouth. I am over 25 and I can't make a name for myself. Some nights I break down and cry. I'm lucky that my father is still alive. He's been fighting all his life, and if this is all I've ever known, then may his soul live on forever in my song. Tragic.
Feels like he just hasn't accomplished much. He's already over 25. His buddy Charles has already started a whole school for the gifted. He's off in the woods somewhere fucking around trying to recruit a blob and a bunch of Morlocks.
Yeah, and this is good advice to our listeners as well. If you are 25 or older and you haven't made it yet, you're not gonna.
Nope, that's it.
Track number 10, Stars.
You're always holding on to stars.
More live cheering.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
He's sad. He's sad and he misses his mom.
Yeah.
Also-
this is where we get the super U2 style guitar build.
Yeah. It also kind of has an AJR feel to it. Sad that I know that. Yeah, what do we want to talk about here? Well, some nights I rule the world with bar lights and pretty girls, but most nights I stay straight and think about my mom. Oh God, I miss her so much. There is ridiculous delivery on these lines.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, again, first of all, you don't go out and rule the world. I assume you're talking about on stage, because for the love of God, I do not believe you're out partying.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that looks like. It seems like he's more of a... And listen, I'm not throwing shade. Tim and I are much more of a... Especially at our age now, but even, I mean, much beyond like 21, you and I were kind of always in the small group of friends in a not loud place, not being insane side of the house.
Yeah, although there were years in there. I did
some other stuff.
Yeah, and you used to slay puss, so there's that.
Dude, I'd slay so much puss. That's why they called me the Snizster.
I don't like what's happening.
Well, I'm just leaning into your horrible shit.
Yeah, this is horrifically auto-tuned. This is maybe the worst example of this on the album.
Yeah, it's comically bad.
Yeah, I think it's intentionally bad. I hate this. Let's move on. I don't want to do this
It's a very
anymore.
lengthy song. There's really nothing in here that's going to make anyone laugh appreciably. It does wrap up my whole X-Men thing, but you know what? I don't care. So your version didn't have track number 11 out on the town.
Nope.
Okay, well, all anyone needs to know is that it sounds a lot like Phil Collins' Take Me Home.
Oh.
Like, a lot.
Should we listen to it now? Gino, play the tape. No, he's asleep.
Dead asleep. God damn it.
I was out on the town, so I came to your window last night.
Anyway, Tim, how'd this thing do?
Pretty well. It did not hit number 1 anywhere, but it did make it to number 3 on the US Billboard 200, number 4 on the British charts. It hit number 11 on the Austrian 3 Austria chart, number 22 on the Danish Hitlisten, 27 in the Portuguese, 36 on the Swedish Sverigetoplisten, 16 on the Swiss Schweizer Hit Parade, and number 29 in the Dutch. It was the 63rd best-selling album of the teens in the US, 2010 to 2019, number 63. It sold over 3 million copies in the US and at least another 1.8 million in the rest of the world. We Are Young was the number 1 song on the US Billboard Hot 100 for 6 weeks. It sold more than 10 million copies in the US alone. It is the 112th best-selling song of all time. Some Nights hit number 3 on the US Billboard Hot 100. It sold more than 7 million copies in the US alone. They were nominated for 6 Grammys for this album and its songs and such. It won Song of the Year and Best New Artist.
That's wild.
Yeah.
They sold so many.
Yeah.
I know, granted, a lot of it's streaming equivalent units, but still, it's a lot of streams.
Yeah, probably a lot at that time. But still, yeah, I mean, it was, it is diamond certified. That's
wild.
Young. Yeah.
What did people think of it?
There are 2,154 total ratings on Amazon, 4.6 out of 5 stars on average, 78% 5-star, 1% 1-star. Now, a lot of these are complaining about the anti-Christian vibes as well as those 2 F-bombs. The first one here
bombs.
Yeah, the fuck bombs, you know.
I didn't even clock them.
This is by Rig Tham from 2013. I'm not going to read the title because I don't want to ruin the key line in this review.
Great.
Sometimes I can make the argument that language I prefer not to use adds to the song and might even make sense artistically. Other times, like this, it just hurts the music. The explicit tag for the album seems to come from 2 F-bombs in each of the first 2 tracks. That's it. They don't even add to the songs. Seems sort of dumb. Just like a little poo in a taco. Not enough to ruin the experience or smell, but definitely enough to leave a really bad taste in your mouth. Take those 2 words out and there's no more poo. Seems like a no-brainer for me. That being said, I really like many of the songs in this album. For example, the title track is a fun blend of an anthem with lyrics that question what the singer stands for. Since anthems usually proclaim, "That's what I stand for," questioning, "What do I stand for?" seems like a clever juxtaposition. Look at me using words my English teacher would be proud of. My kids love the beat and really get a kick out of it. Just a note on listening order. I prefer listening to the tracks in reverse order. That way each song gets better instead of the other way around. I can do without the last couple of tracks. Overall, I'm pleased I bought it. I'm also pleased that I have so many digital tools at my disposal. So I cut the poo out and really sink my teeth into the album. 4 out of 5 stars. This is that's apparently...
What's the title?
The title is Just a Little Poo in Your Taco.
Honestly,
Wouldn't have ruined
you should have read the title.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Who's shitting in this lady's food? God, no wonder she likes fun, period.
Yeah.
We both have the same sense of like, these are super common expressions that we all use. Nobody thinks are super strange.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of, this is the last review that I'm going to read, Garrett. This is by SB. It's entitled Absolute Cack. K-A-C-K from 2012. While I'm aware that cack may not actually be a word, this is probably the worst album I've bought in years, and that's what I'm trying to get across by describing it as cack. I bought it because the single We Are Young, which I find a really catchy, happy tune. As for the rest of the album, I managed to listen to half of it, give or take, and then turned it off. I doubt I'll ever go back to listen to the second half, which would perhaps be better since all the other reviews I've read about it say how great the album is. Each to their own, I suppose, but this one definitely wasn't for me. I bought the Lumineers album at the same time, and that one I haven't stopped listening to, so I hope my review of Fun isn't a kiss of death for the Lumineers. 1 out of 5 stars. Absolute cack!
Cack. That's never really explained.
Yeah.
Also, Tim, like, what is it? Maybe your tastes have changed. Mine have changed slightly. But like, I went through a Lumineers phase, like a strong Lumineers phase.
I mean, I am preconditioned to enjoy
guitar-based harmonized rock and roll.
Yeah, just acoustic-ish stuff. So yeah, I mean, I understand 100% all of the slights against the Lumineers, and I agree with most of them, but I can get past it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They lose me a little bit in the more recent albums, but
I feel like they got weird. I went and saw them once in Dallas, and it turned into like a weird piano thing, and they're weird concept albums about like families that never existed, but they've got fully fleshed out. They got real weird.
And it doesn't sound good at all. Great reviews this week. Who's this for?
This is for people who are willing to kind of eat around a little bit of poo.
I will say it's for people that don't give a flying fuck about music, but don't want to listen to nothing.
Yeah, this is for people that want to buy that Starbucks CD, the mix CD they got in Starbucks.
Yeah, just like, I got music. Well, would you get music?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's for people that say generically, I like music. You know, I know people that will say like, I really love live music. What do you mean? And they're just like, just anything. Like, I really like just being and like, seeing like live music. Okay, I don't want to go to a concert with you.
Alrighty, that's who it's for. Final thoughts, Tim. What did you learn? Wrap it up for us.
I mean, I've learned very little. I learned a lot about this band. I think the idea that there's a lot of people out there, I got so many reviews that I didn't read this week, Garrett. There's so many people that think that this is too edgy, that they are offended by the language in this, because this is the most middle of the road possible content.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is something something. This album should have been medicated out of existence or therapied out of existence. Either way, this requires doctors to prevent.
It's music for people who don't like music.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And I'm shocked that you were able to begin the episode by not hating it. You barely made it to the last track. I don't even know if we can technically say we covered it. And I also want to say, listen, fun. I know some of you are listening. At least one of you is. And we've said some really mean shit. We probably. And you're just not for us. You're very good at music.
Oh, they're all just incredibly talented musicians.
Yeah, you're really good at music. It's so rare that something not only doesn't speak to me, can't connect to it, but like I actively disassociated and wrote a script. Tim, I rewrote X3.
Yes. It's like saying, listen, I appreciate how well you can kick. Like, you've really put some time into that kick. You've just kicked me in the balls.
Yeah, don't kick me in the balls, fun. All right, Tim, we've been all the way through it. We've talked about getting kicked violently in the testes. That means it's time for the question. Do you hate this album?
Yeah, Garrett, I tried to skip 7 of the songs. Yeah, I do hate this. Did you reverse get there somehow, Garrett?
No, I dislike it even more so. I just don't relate to this. Yeah. I can't connect to it, even melodically.
Yes, Garrett is, you wouldn't know this to listen to him, but he is very well adjusted and he does not understand this therapy rock.
Yeah, this isn't good.
Therapy pop.
I have mild synesthesia, and this album, I'm seeing a lot of brown.
Got that poo in that taco.
Taco poo. God, stop shitting in that lady's food.
No, but they're not really. They're just taking a little and just
dabbing it in there.
A little bit there. Yeah.
Maybe just rubbing it on the outside.
Maybe it's like a family prank. Like that's
Who? Deborah got the turd in the taco.
All right, let's go.
Hold on a minute.
No.
Hold on.
Don't
Did
give
you
life
put
to
shit
it.
in here? Did you put shit in here? Oh, how many of those is you gonna eat before you tasted the shit? 3. I had 3.
All right, let's be done.
Let's be done. Folks, that's the show. It wasn't our best, but that's not our fault. This album was aggressively not fun.
Zing.
Ugh, no pun intended. Listen, most of the time, it's a laugh riot, fantasy good time to hang out with us, and we want you to. We also want to hear from you, so reach out, hatePodMail@gmail.com. Tell us your thoughts, your stories, your hopes, your dreams, your ideas, your suggestions, weird stories about these albums, this time in your life. We want to hear all about it, and as always, you can just put right in the beginning, hey, don't read this on the show, and we won't. Or read this on the show, but for the love of God, don't say my name. Or for that curious few of you, hey, if you read this on the show, be sure you say my name. You folks are weird. We'll do any and all of those things. You're our listeners, and we want to treat you better than we treat ourselves, and certainly far better than we treat each other. Because without you, we're nobody. I mean, we'd still be doing this, and we've proven that. When no one listened, we were here. When no one recorded it, we were here. So it takes us very little to get motivated to do this. In any event, we'd love to have you write in, hatepodmail@gmail.com. You can also find us on social media. Instagram is hatepod, Twitter's album hatepod. I'm G Harvey Tweets. We're also on the threads there, I guess. And I think that's about it. So for this week, I have been one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey.
I have been the other, Timothy B. Richardson. And on January 31st, 2014, Garrett the Male Gaze Harvey said,
What?
I lost my shower curtain. And he had. Or rather, it had been taken from him.
Yes, it had been taken.
I took your shower curtain.
That's beyond obvious.
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. I joined the Navy, got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. Try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is a genius, got it wrong. No, it's a lobster murder sex thing. It's the bleaching of the rear. A full assault on both your ears. The riffs are too repetitive. The lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides. The cover art's a mess. Listen to it for a week. Now that week has passed. It's the Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
My first week in college, I didn't have a shower curtain because nobody gave me things when I left my home.
You didn't tell anyone you were leaving.
Yeah, no, I didn't tell anyone I was leaving. That is accurate. I forgot. Anyway, my solution was to get 4 trash bags and take the cinch at the top to tie it off. Take that out and stitch all of them together into one giant sheet.
This has been incredibly sad.
It was pretty sad now that I've said it out loud. I thought it was going to be a funny anecdote, and I'm embarrassed about my life.